evening. This is GRTS and welcome to the news. In the headlines tonight, the European Union tours the €1.5 million post-food insecurity project. The Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure takes stock of its work and map out strategies to enhance quality. Tunisian mills export thousands of tons of olive oil to boost state revenue. And Uganda denies outbreak of hemorrhagic fever in big country. These and other stories coming ahead in this half hour. I am Jane Abanyang presenting. Officials responsible for the European Union's funded post-crisis response to food insecurity have been touring various project sites in the provinces. The €1.5 million project seeks to address food insecurity and malnutrition in the Gambia. Modu Bajan went along and now reports.
Operating in 4 regions, the post-crisis response to food insecurity in the Gambia project focal point Murunjai and others such as Daryl Sexton of the European Union dilated on its aim to reduce food insecurity and malnutrition.
The project is doing very well in trying to support farmers and also in the area of supporting the health workers and also the communities to be able to improve health and nutrition during the project targeted areas. We are targeting 16,900 children, 6 to 59 months, and also for the black supplementary feeding we are targeting 40,000 children. And definitely we are very sure that by the end of the project we will be able to see massive improvement in addition to other interventions.
We, with the UN and the authorities, identified 4 regions which were considered as having been affected most, and we are through this project providing support not only to agriculture, building resilience within agriculture and agricultural practices, but also directly tackling the issues related to malnutrition in the country through direct interventions of supplementary feeding during the lean season, but also targeted supplementary feeding for those mothers and children suffering from severe acute malnutrition.
At Kir Omar Sen, beneficiaries, among them Hadisen, was provided with farm inputs including 15 kilograms of maize, 15 kilograms of beans, 35 kilograms of peanuts, and 5 bags of fertilizer. Despite challenges from pests like fall armyworms, they highlighted the importance of the inputs in enhancing their production. Elsewhere at Albreda, the officer in charge of the health facility, Ali Juf, reiterates interventions in the screening and treatment of severely acute malnutrition.
In terms of SAM treatment here, what we do is the health facility will go to the regional office and get the supplies, so the village health services, they will in turn come and do requisition from the health facility and go and give the treatment at the community level. As outlined by the project coordinator Louis Teen, the 29-month project has 7 thematic areas, including the provision of supplementary food supplies to malnourished children, as well as cash for workers in some project sites.
The project has 7 result areas, in which the cash for work is the first result area, and the main objective is to rehabilitate community asset to increase production, like in the case of CR, the rice irrigated perimeter, and also aim at increasing income of vulnerable households in CR. So we have now 3 sites of cash for work in CR, which is Sokota, Jahali, and Pacha. 900 vulnerable families are involved in the cash for work, earning every month $3,600.
While Kuntawur Health Center Deputy Officer in Charge, Malta Mendy, acknowledged the provision of this water facility, Sira Bajinka and Barsa Jaite, who are respectively engaged in the project's Cash for Work initiative in Jahali and Nyali Sukuta, mentioned its importance in bettering their lives. The project's farmer field schools, such as this one in Yalal, has trained trainers who are gradually initiating community members to climate-smart agriculture. Jainaba Sidibe and Ajay Juli Jalo bemoaned difficulties in manually drawing water from the garden well, which is 36 meters deep. Meanwhile, the talk continued in the Upper River and Lower River regions. Modu Bajan reporting for GRTS News.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honourable Marim Jack Denton, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the UK Parliament at a ceremony held in London in the United Kingdom. The MOU details a 2-year program for future technical parliamentary assistance. The event was witnessed by top UK parliamentary officials, including the Speaker of the House of Commons, the co-president of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, and the chair of the board of the Westminster Foundation for Democracy. The MOU seeks to strengthen parliamentary proceedings, in particular the oversight functions of the parliamentary committees and outreach programs. The parliamentary delegation, headed by Speaker Mariam Jack-Denton and the Clerk of the House, among other deputies, was meant to explore UK parliamentary practices and procedures, as well as forge cooperation between the two parliaments. The Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Lamin Job, on Thursday presided over the opening ceremony of a 3-day retreat at Tendaba in the Lower River region. The exercise brought together key stakeholders to take stock of their work and map out best strategies to enhance quality and efficiency. Khadija Tujalo has details.
Enhancing efficiency and strengthening inclusiveness is the aim of this 3-day retreat, which further seeks to address challenges to better the sector. Permanent Secretary Mariam Njaindu explained.
It is also a valuable opportunity to openly and frankly discuss issues that concern us all and pertinent to the development of our sector. That clear priorities are set in terms of resources, both financial and human. One major objective that we want to get out of this retreat is setting the strategic direction in line with our policy goals and objectives.
The Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Lamin Job, also underlined the importance of periodic review in the assessment of achievements and challenges.
At the end of every year, we will try to get a gardening of this sort for the purpose of one, assessing what we have done for the past year, and also to chart what we are going to do for the coming year as a family. And also I am hoping that at the middle of the current year, we will also come together and have a midterm evaluation to look at the constraints, to look at the challenges, and to strategize so that we can have a successful year.
Mr. Job revealed that his ministry has updated the national transport policy and for the first time developed a national public building and facility policy, which will be scrutinized at the forum. The National Development Plan, the 2018 work plans of the ministry, those of the public enterprises, as well as preparations for the upcoming 2019 OIC Summit in the Gambia would also be looked at.
Yes. We will be discussing the National Development Plan, the amount of resources that are supposed to be mobilized for this plan is about $2.6 billion. But I also noticed that in this plan, about $1.6 billion would go to infrastructure. And what that implies is that most of the work in that plan is going to be done by you guys, or by us. And a lot of the responsibility, as I alluded, rests on us.
Presenting on the National Development Plan, the Director of Planning, Esa Drame, said the continuous increase in population, particularly in urban areas, is among challenges affecting the sector. The forum availed participants the opportunity to share ideas and suggestions. Deliberations continues tomorrow. Khadija Tujalo, reporting for GRTS News.
Amnesty International has premiered a new documentary film on the role played by human rights defenders during the rule of former President Yahya Jammeh. The film, entitled We Never Give Up, was premiered at the Ebunjang Theatre, attended by a cross-section of society. Seni Marino was there, and he now reports.
Stories of Courage in Gambia is a 30-minute documentary highlighting the testimonies of men and women who decided to take a stand for human rights during Jammeh's era. The film describes their fears, struggles and their personal motivations. The story of Gambian human rights defenders is a story of courage, resistance, and the story of brave people who firmly believe in human rights and fought to realize it, often putting their lives at risk. Here at the Ibojan Theatre in Kanifing, human rights advocates, activists, families of victims, foreign diplomats, cabinet ministers, and journalists gathered to watch the film in a sober and calm atmosphere. A prominent Senegalese human rights defender, Aliou Tine, is the Amnesty International Regional Director for West and Central Africa.
We work for human rights. And here in Gambia, where we have worked for a long time and documented human rights abuses, we have found men, women that resist, men, women very brave, challenging the regime of Yahya Jammeh.
In attendance were the Minister of Justice Abubakar Ba Tambedu and Information Minister Demba Ali Jao. They both expressed the commitment of the Barrow government to open up space for human rights defenders and civil society groups.
It's a testimony of the commitment of the government to the adherence to human rights and the protection of the rights of the people.
And I believe that the work has only just begun, because what we want is to avoid a repetition of what has occurred here over the last 22 years. So the role of human rights defenders is more needed today than ever before in the Gambia.
Meanwhile, a panel discussion on the film by 3 panelists gathered a passionate debate on the role of human rights in the new and democratic Gambia.
The message is never give up, and the Gambians have seen that not giving up results to something, and that's why we are here today. So we are grateful to Amnesty International, who have followed what we have been doing, and to every Gambian who has played part in the liberation that we are enjoying today.
Also share her thoughts, saying the Gambia needs laws to promote and protect human rights defenders.
We are encouraged by the new dispensation and the efforts being made, but we must not rest on our laurels. We must continue to encourage the government and push them to doing the right thing at all times.
During the Jammeh era, human rights defenders in the Gambia live and work in a constant climate of fear. Some of them were forced to flee in order to save their lives, whilst others decided to stay and carry on giving a voice to the voices that were silenced by the systematic human rights violations that occur in the country. Seni Marena for GRTS News.
Meanwhile, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, TANGO, today convened a press briefing under the theme, The Gambia We Want, at a ceremony held at its head office in Kanifing. Teneng Jite has the rest of that story.
Civil society members traditionally have the same purpose or standing as press group. They work with government to ensure that policies and decisions made on behalf of the people are in favor or in the best interest of the country as a whole. Well, today, as we mark the anniversary of the swearing ceremony of President Barrow that took place on the 19th of January 2017 in Dakar, the members of the Gambia Association of Non-Governmental Organizations are here today talking about issues concerning the country from almost all aspects of living in the country. Before we go into detail as to exactly what has been said, we first of all start with a statement made by the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. John Charles Njai, who first of all admitted complacency on their part within the past 22 years.
As CSOs, our level of engagement with the state at the time was weak and inconsistent. Hence, we were unable to exert the necessary influence and pressure to ensure that the entire government and its policies and institutions were transparent, accountable, and responsive to the needs of its citizens. This painful lesson we have learned, and today Tango has vowed to not repeat such an abdication of our duties.
To be vigilant, engaging and steadfast in their role as CSOs are among the many reasons why they convened the press conference, with special focus on having members outline issues of concern to their various NGOs as well as their mandates.
Since December 2016, the Gambia Bar Association has challenged this government, so far not successfully yet, on one, lack of transparency in the appointment of judges, 2, lack of independence in the structure of one of the most crucial bodies in the system of legal administration, that is the Judicial Service Commission, 3, non-adherence to rules of constitutional amendments.
I'm deeply concerned that average Gambian workers are being exploited at some of the informal sector institutions, which we can justify. Definitely, we can justify. Records have revealed that there are unlawful terminations in this country.
Improving our health system is a right, not a favor. We have a health system that is failing, whether due to the lack of investment, training, or monitoring by the government. There are too many local clinics, too many. I emphasize.
From issues affecting education, children, women, political participation, all the way to the trade unions and workers' rights in the country. For these CSOs, this is the beginning of a rigorous campaign to get in the Gambia we want. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Tenenjite.
The Gambia Prison Service on Friday received a donation of 1,200 meters of blankets from a prominent businessman, Salifu K. Khadijatu Juara reports.
The donated items are meant for various prisons across the country. Prison authorities thank the business tycoon for the intervention. The public relations officer of the Gambia Prison Services, Modulamin Sise, highlighted the importance of the donation, adding that the materials will help prison authorities in the drive to improving conditions at the country's various prison facilities.
We are very much grateful and thankful, and thanks to Mr. Jaite for his support. This is what it takes. When we say nation building, it's everyone's business. Being a patriotic Gambian is everybody's business. Government alone cannot do it, as I said before. So we need partnership.
The Deputy Director of Gambia Prison Services, Landing Jaju, assured the business tycoon of the proper use of the donated items.
Mr.
Doing his best for the development of the country. This is another significant development for the prisons as the government continues its drive to accelerate reforms in the management and operations of major detention centers. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Khadija Tujuwara.
Today marks exactly 1 year since President Adama Barrow was sworn in as President of the Gambia at a ceremony held at the Gambian Embassy in Dakar. The event marked the dawn of a new political history in the Gambia. Seni Marina looks back at that memorable day. And that report will come in subsequent news bulletins. In other news, the Khalifa General of the Tijani sect, Serigne Ababakar Sy Mansour, is in the Gambia to grace the annual Gamo at the Makati Square in Banjul. The program is organized by the Ahlu Tiwawon Foundation, one of the biggest Islamic sects in the West African sub-region. The Tijani spiritual leader is accompanied by a high-powered delegation, including his followers and senior members of the Tijani Islamic group, to grace what is described as a symbolic remembrance of the life and teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. A team of donors from the United Kingdom who are sponsoring the Seedlings Charitable Lower Basic School in Manjaikunda on Friday visited the school to assess the academic performance of the students there. Seydou Kamara has more in this report.
Seedlings Lower Basic School is sponsored by UK-based charitable organization headed by Jeff Mustiwai. The school was established in 2009, seeks to render quality and free education to Gambian children. The principal of the school, Emmanuel Gomes, highlighted the excellent academic performance of the children in the school. The chairman of the PTA, Sao Sanya, thanked the sponsors for rendering such a laudable service to the community. The lead trustee for Seedlings in the Gambia, Esther Clifton, outlined some of the achievements of the school since its establishment.
We want to go for the poorest of the poor children, to give them a future with hope. That's what we believe that is our mission statement in this school. The children we
Good evening. This is GRTS and welcome to the news. In the headlines tonight, the European Union tours the 1.5 million euro post-food insecurity project. The Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure takes stock of its work and map out strategies to enhance quality. Tunisian mills export thousands of tons of olive oil to boost state revenue. And Uganda denies outbreak of hemorrhagic fever in the country. These and other stories coming ahead in this half hour. I am Jane Abanyang presenting. Officials responsible for the European Union's funded post-crisis response to food insecurity have been touring various project sites in the provinces. The 1.5 million euro project seeks to address food insecurity and malnutrition in the Gambia. Modu Bajan went along and now reports. Good evening. This is GRTS and welcome to the news. In the headlines tonight, the European Union tours the 1.5 million euro post-food insecurity project. The Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure takes stock of its work and map out strategies to enhance quality. Tunisian mills export thousands of tons of olive oil to boost state revenue. And Uganda denies outbreak of hemorrhagic fever in the country. These and other stories coming ahead in this half hour. I am Jane Abanyang presenting. Officials responsible for the European Union's funded post-crisis response to food insecurity have been touring various project sites in the provinces. The 1.5 million euro project seeks to address food insecurity and malnutrition in the Gambia. Modu Bajan went along and now reports.
Operating in 4 regions, the post-crisis response to food insecurity in the Gambia project focal point, Murunjai, and others such as Daryl Sexton of the European Union dilated on its aim to reduce food insecurity and malnutrition.
The project is doing very well in trying to support farmers and also in the area of supporting the health workers and also the communities to be able to improve health and nutrition within the project targeted areas. We are targeting 16,900 children, 6 to 59 months, and also for the blanket supplementary feeding we are targeting 40,000 children. And definitely we are very sure that by the end of the project we will be able to see massive improvement in addition to other interventions.
We, with the UN and the authorities, identified 4 regions which were considered as having been affected most, and we are through this project providing support not only to agriculture, building resilience within agriculture and agricultural practices, but also directly tackling the issues related to malnutrition in the country through direct interventions of supplementary feeding during the lean season, but also targeted supplementary feeding for those mothers and children suffering from severe acute malnutrition.
At Kir Omar Sen, beneficiaries, among them Hadisen, was provided with farm inputs including 15 kilograms of maize, 15 kilograms of beans, 35 kilograms of peanuts, and 5 bags of fertilizer. Despite challenges from pests like fall armyworms, they highlighted the importance of the inputs in enhancing their production. Elsewhere at Albreda, the officer in charge of the health facility, Aliou Diouf, reiterates interventions in the screening and treatment of severely acute malnutrition.
In terms of some treatment here, what we do is the health facility will go to the regional office and get the supplies, so the village health services, they will in turn come and do requisition from the health facility and go and give the treatment at the community level. As outlined by the project coordinator, Louis Teen, the 29-month project has 7 thematic areas, including the provision of supplementary food supplies to malnourished children, as well as cash for workers in some project sites.
The project has 7 result areas, in which the cash for work is the first result area, and the main objective is to rehabilitate community assets to increase production, like in the case of CR, the rice irrigated perimeter, and also aim at increasing income of vulnerable households in CR. So we have now 3 sites of cash for work in CR, which is Sukuta, Jahali, and Pacha. 900 vulnerable families are involved in the cash for work, earning every month $3,600.
While Kuntawur Health Center Deputy Officer in Charge, Malta Mendy, acknowledged the provision of this water facility, Sira Bajinka and Barsa Jaite, who are respectively engaged in the project's Cash for Work initiative in Jahali and Nyani Sukuta, mentioned its importance in bettering their lives. The project's farmer field schools, such as this one in Yalal, has trained trainers who are gradually initiating community members to climate-smart agriculture. Jainaba Sidibe and Ajay Juli Jalo bemoaned difficulties in manually drawing water from the garden well, which is 36 meters deep. Meanwhile, the talk continued in the Upper River and Lower River regions. Modu Bajan reporting for GRTS News.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honourable Marim Jack Denton, has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the UK Parliament at a ceremony held in London in the United Kingdom. The MOU details a 2-year program for future technical parliamentary assistance.
Among the top 3 world producers of premium quality extra virgin olive oil.
We will soon reach 280,000 tons of olive oil. Last year, Tunisia produced 100,000 tons. The increase is phenomenal and exceptional this year.
In 2018, the authorities are heavily relying on exports to boost the economy. Experts say it will provide up to 800 million dinars, just about $330 million in foreign exchange.
About 30 to 35,000 tons of olive oil are for domestic consumption. The rest will be exported to the whole world to reduce the trade deficit and restore balance.
Consumers use olive oil in nearly all Tunisian recipes. The organic liquid gold is much appreciated for its health benefits. During the production season, the olive oil is available in mills, popular markets and supermarkets.
My father is a farmer. I know that olive oil is a natural and miraculous ingredient. It makes food tasty.
I never get sick. I drink olive oil every morning. It's my natural medicine.
For thousands of years, tasting fresh pressed olive oil has always been a source of pride for Tunisian producers. This year, the olive picking season started in November. Some farmers are still harvesting the precious trees in many regions across Tunisia. Aden Sherishi, CGTN, Tunis.
And we will take another short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back.
Carry your bank everywhere you go with the GT Bank Gambia mobile app. Take control of your account anytime, anywhere with ease and security. Do your banking